Hey everyone, welcome to another Angry Artist podcast. The topic of art schools come up a lot, and of course the younger audiences probably wouldn't know too much about the insides of how art schools work. So I decided in this podcast to really describe my experiences as well as whether art school is worth it or not and what you're looking for if you do end up going to art school. Now, I am Asian, so my mom wanted me to go to school no matter what I do. My family wanted me to have a degree, even though I chose to do art, which kind of angered some of them. Ultimately, I wanted to go to art school either way. A lot of people nowadays especially has a choice not to go to school because internet learning has become amazing. There's a lot of material out there and a lot of them are even better than what you'll find in art schools. So what are you really looking for when you're trying to choose your school? Ultimately, your job is to draw and paint. Art history and stuff are very important, but if your curriculum is dominated by this type of thing, you're not drawing and painting enough, then perhaps the school isn't worth it. That's all there is to it. There's really nothing else you're looking for except to learn to draw. Now, it sounds very obvious, but trust me when I say this, a lot of schools like to put in crappy courses to fill up space, and that's really bad. Not going to mention any specific universities, but you might want to do your research for whatever school you wish to go to. So if internet learning does cut to the chase, where you can choose your own curriculum and you choose what to learn, then why do you go to art school? Well, there's several benefits to it. Art school has a lot of peers in it. There's a lot of competition. If you're in that environment and you thrive in it, then perhaps it's for you. For me, I'm a very competitive person, so naturally it kind of resonated with me. I needed people around me to compete with and even help each other, right? It's not sort of like a cage match here. We're helping each other, but we're bringing our skill levels up as we go along. It's sort of like friendly competition. The other big benefit to it is you get a disciplined world. You're literally in this bubble where you have to do things. When you're learning from the internet, while the knowledge is there, you might not have the discipline to keep working and not procrastinate. And it sounds like I'm being mean, but ultimately, if you're given the option of not working as hard, chances are most people will choose not to work as hard. Art school will force you to finish the homework and do your best job. The final benefit is in conjunction with having peers around you, your teachers are very good. Now, this varies between schools. And it's very important if you're researching on which school to go to that your teachers have experience in the industry. You don't want to go into a school that has professors, but they're just professional teachers. I'm not trying to insult teachers. There are very good teachers out there, but it's very different when you have a teacher who knows the industry and those who don't. Now, that's not to say all your teachers must have worked in Disney and animated Zootopia, but they need to have some sort of experience. Their skill level and their work will tell the tale anyways. So if their work is very good, then of course they will have something to teach you. Now, a lot of people put the idea of diplomas and degrees into the equation. While art schools do offer those sort of things, ultimately an art skill matters. There's very few places where having a degree is mandatory. And in general case, and in most cases, the studios do not ask you for it if you're good enough. Now, it can help a lot if you want to work internationally because registering for a visa, it's better to have a degree rather than not. Other than that, when it comes to art, it's just your work. Don't look into it as, well, now I have a degree, therefore I have more priority over people without a degree. That may work in some industries, but in art, in my experience, I don't think it really matters. I know quite a few people who has dropped out of my school early on and they're doing pretty much fine. It's all on skill level, and that's really what you're looking for no matter what. That's the lesson that I want to teach you in this podcast. When it comes to art, everything comes down to your skill. You're looking for job security, and being good will make you indispensable to any studio you're looking for, and even freelancing. So these skills can be obtained without art school. That's the important part. I will say again, it's up to you and what you're looking for. Nobody is going to downplay your skill level no matter where you come from. So if you went to a prestigious art school versus not having school at all, as long as you're producing the work, they're not going to care too much about it. There have been fantastic artists coming from both sides, and really, again, all you're looking for are the skills. You want to research the curriculum beforehand. You do not want to pay for a school that doesn't teach you how to draw and paint. That's the number one mistake a lot of people going to art make. They don't look into the school. They just look into, oh, it's an art school, but the courses are all art history and English and writing essays. That type of stuff doesn't matter. It really doesn't. It goes into my rant of education has become a business. While there are benefits to school, they're still trying to make money. And the easiest way to make money is just to put as many of those garbage courses as possible and leave you with one or two good courses, or even none. Some schools really don't have any. Remember your goal. I'll repeat it again. You're trying to get good at drawing and painting. Judge whether you are able to thrive outside of school versus inside of school. Someone like me, I have to be in school. I'm that type of person. Some people are better when they're out of school and they have the freedom and they like the chaotic side of researching their own material and really looking into their own sources. There's nothing wrong with that. Just do what works for you. My honest opinion is if you have the drive and you don't want to pay for the absurd tuitions that they put on students now, then it's better off to be out of school. There are so many resources, even compared to when I started in 2008. There are so many online courses now that I would say you could get a better education if you look closely. So places like Schoolism, there's Nomon, there's Master Drawing Academy, I forgot the exact name for it. But you can Google it, and there's a lot of tutorials out there. The knowledge is there. All you have to do is apply it to whatever profession you want to do. So if you want to do animation, you need to learn motion and really observe how life moves. Now, the fundamentals are always there, and they're kind of universal. So even if you don't have the decisive place you want to go into, you're going to be learning the same things. So really, to end it off, school is a means to your goal. The school is not your goal. That's very important to understand. Being in art school doesn't mean much. It's what you get out of it. being outside of school doesn't mean much. It's what you get out of it. Anyways, thank you for listening, and I'll see you next time.